Okay. Good evening, guys. Welcome to our functional testing with ISTQB certification course. So we have started our class just 2 days before. So yesterday we have gone through like a brief introduction about the software and how the software will be developed and all this. So we are discussing right now about the SDLC model, right? So we'll continue on that today. Okay. Let me share my whiteboard. Can someone confirm that you guys able to see the whiteboard or not?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, madam, for the confirmation. So what is SDLC?
Software development lifecycle.
Right. Okay. So yesterday also we have discussed about the software also, right? What is software? So software is a collection of programs, and if you want to develop a software to the customer, okay, we need to go certain process that is called, which that process is called as SDLC process. Okay. Now let us see here also there are also two types of softwares we will discuss in software industry, especially in the mainly in the software industry. We'll use two types of softwares. Okay, two types of terminology we'll use in the software industries. Okay, normally in IT industry there are two types of projects. Okay, one is we call them as project or product. Okay, we can call them as project and product. Okay, so we call them as a project or product. So before entering into the software industry, we need to understand all these things. What is project, what is product, okay, what is software, what is QA or QE, okay, different terminologies we will use, right? So instead of directly going and jumping into the main topic, we should know all these things. Okay, so in IT testing, we will talk more about these two. Okay, these two, and even in companies also there are two types of companies. One is product company and other is service based companies. Okay, project based companies means we can call them as service based. Okay, for product based companies we'll simply call them as product. Okay, so and even in companies also there are two types. One is product company and other is service based company. Okay, I will tell you what is difference on this. Okay, so first let us understand this. Okay, so normally we have a project and product, both are softwares only. Okay, both are softwares only. Okay, there are two types of software, only project and product. So there is a slight difference. Okay, so project, first we'll discuss about the project. So project means we can develop to a specific customers. Okay, project means we, here we means the IT company. Okay, so we develop a software based on the requirements for the customers. Okay, let's say some example, like sometimes the companies will develop some software based on the market requirements. Okay, okay, leave it. For project means okay, project is something like the customers, like yesterday we have discussed an example, right? Banking example. So bank people came to the IT industry and they are asking some requirements. They are giving some requirements to the company. So what are the requirements? Boss, I want to a software which has to automate our daily tasks. Okay, so like withdrawals, depositing, or whatever the bank transactions happen. So whatever they are doing manually, they are approaching a software company and asking to requesting them to provide a software for this daily task. So here the bank is a customer and IT industry means we. Okay, so there, so here bank approached the company and the bank gave some particular requirements to the company. So here the bank gave some requirements to the company and company will work. The company means the IT company will work on the requirements based on this bank customer. Okay, bank was the customer. So here the IT company don't do anything, just they will take, IT company will take the requirements from the customer means bank. They will take the requirements from the customer and they will develop a software as per the requirements given by the bank. So here, okay, got it? What is project means? The customer will give some requirement. Based on the customer requirement, the IT company will provide us software, okay, application. That is called project. Okay, clear? I will give one more example, okay, after telling the product, okay, in the basic example, okay, you will get done. So sometimes the companies will develop some software based on the market requirements, okay, so they will always see the market, okay, they will always analyze the market. So what is market is like, what kind of software requires, they will do certain analysis on the market requirements. They will gather some requirement, and based on that they will develop software. That is called product, software product. The product is something the companies will develop, okay, the companies will develop, okay, companies will develop and release to the market. Let's say example, we can say the beautiful example we can say is Facebook or WhatsApp, Instagrams. Okay, these are not the requirements given by any customer. Okay, the Facebook company like Meta right now. So the Meta company has developed a software, okay, based on the market analysis. Like they will analyze like so people are liking this social platform, like they want to connect with the other people who are there in the some other distance locations. So on this base idea, they have implemented some software which is called a Facebook, right? So Facebook has been developed by the company and they release it to the market. Release it to the market means from like app stores or website. So from the app, we are downloading that from Android app store or Apple app store, right? So we are downloading and we are using. So here we customers means we are the customers, but we never gave any requirement to the company. The company only developed the product or software and released to the market. So here the product is something developed by the company and released to the market. And project means which is, okay, the customer gives some requirements. Based on the requirements, they will prepare a software and really give to the handover to the customer. So this is the slight difference between the project and product. Clear? If not, I will give one more example. Okay, here the companies developing the projects are comes under the service companies. Okay, the companies which are developing a projects, okay, it comes under the service based companies, okay, like TCS, Accenture, Wipro, because they are, okay, these are all service based companies, because they will get some requirements from the customer and they will develop a software and release to the customer. Okay, like they will get n number of clients. Okay, whereas some more companies like they will purely product based companies, okay, purely product based companies like Google, Microsoft, IBM. These are all product based companies, because the Google has launched them the search engines, so Microsoft has launched their own OS, okay, IBM has their own. So these are all comes under the product based companies. So they will develop product based on the market requirements. Okay, for example, MS Office, Windows, okay, these are developed by the Microsoft. These are the products, okay, developed by the Microsoft and release it to the market. So we are using the Microsoft Office, okay, Windows, okay. So everything is used, that is called products. Okay, still if you are not yet clear, okay, on this difference between, I will give the one more basic example. If you search in the Google also, this example will get. So what is the example? So in simple words, okay guys, are you following or not?
Following, sir.
Okay, so in simple words we can say project is something like stitching the clothes. Okay, project is something like a stitching the clothes. Okay, like we bought a ready-made clothes from the shop and we took that material to the tailor and we will give the measurements to the tailor, right? We'll give some measurements. My shirt size should be 42 and my hand size should be 40, okay, and my waist size should be 34, like we will give, right? So these are the requirements we are giving to the tailor. What the tailor will do, based on this requirement, he will stitch a dress for us and he will hand over to us, right? So here we are giving some requirements. He means we are giving some measurements to the tailor. Okay, tailor, what he will do, he will stitch the cloth and give it to us. Okay, this is project. So project is something we are giving, the customer will give some measurements to the company. Okay, so based on that they will develop and release to the customer. Okay, clear? This is project. Clear or not?
Clear.
Clear? Shiva?
Clear.
Sandeep?
Yes.
Soumya?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if not, please open up. Okay, the product.
can we consider
Hmm.
mobile games through WhatsApp, whatever, not WhatsApp, I mean to say Google Play Store as product?
Product.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we haven't given any requirement, right? They are developing that games or apps or whatever. The companies will develop and they will release to the market. Market means here App Store.
Yeah.
So that market, from there we are using, all the peoples or most of the peoples will use. Okay, that is product. Okay, in again here also the basic example I can give product is, we'll go to shopping malls, right?
Yes.
We'll go to shopping malls to purchase a ready-made garments. So ready-made garments means it's already stitched. Okay, and they release it to the market. What we are doing, we are selecting that garments and directly using that. But here we are not giving any requirements. Okay, the company only stitch the cloths and releasing to the market, right? Here, that is
Clear.
product. Okay, especially if we have any specific requirement. Okay, if we have any specific requirement, then only we can call it as a project. If there is no specific requirement, the requirements only for company, then we can call it as a product. Clear? Any confusion or any disturbance between these, please let me know. If okay, we can continue.
Okay.
Okay, Shiva.
Clear, sir.
Okay, Sai.
Clear.
Soumya.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so now we will discuss about software testing. Okay, so we'll discuss about the software testing. So in the entire process of the SDLC, okay, like you guys remember what are the process, how many levels? Requirement, design, coding, deployment or these are the levels of SDLC, right? So in the first level, we take the requirements from the customer. Okay, and the second level, we'll design that requirements, how to implement the code. So what are the types of language we can choose? All these things will be discussed in the design, and coding will start by the developer. Okay, how to implement the software, and all these things will be started in the coding. And once the coding is done, we'll test the application. Okay, here testing is the crucial stage. Okay, so whether the product is successful or failure, this is the way that decides in this stage. Okay, during the testing phase, we can say that whether the product is a value, is a good or bad. Okay, so completely everything will be decided here itself. Okay, so this is that's why called testing stage is a crucial stage. So in testing, we can call as a testing also. Simply we cannot do the testing. Okay, here also we need have some certain process. Okay, that process is called STLC. Okay, software testing so even in testing also, we do a lot of activities like test planning, writing test cases, executing the test cases, filing a bugs, creating a test reports. All these things we'll do as part of testing phase only. Okay, we'll do everything in the testing phase only. So these activities will comes under the STLC process. In the STLC process, what we'll get? We'll also get here also the planning, execution, writing reports. Okay, bugs creation, filing a bugs. All this will comes under the STLC process only. Okay, I will tell about the STLC process in detail once we done few of the classes. Okay, that at the time you know why I have postponed this to there. Okay, so just now I am giving just high level introduction about the STLC. Okay, but I will teach with the diagram in the later classes. Okay, don't mind that I am stopping here for the STLC mass. Okay, we'll concentrate more on the STLC, then we'll come to STLC. Okay, but why do we need to test on a software? But why do we need to do testing on the software? Because the customer For suppose in an example, okay, I will give an example. Like I want to purchase a mobile phone. Okay, I am the customer. I want to purchase a mobile phone. So what I will expect? What I will expect? Okay, I have a certain budget like 10,000. Okay, and I'm expecting some features to be there in that mobile phone for the 10,000. Like I'm expecting 8 GB RAM and 512 GB of ROM. Okay, and I'm expecting camera is a 50 megapixel camera for 10,000 budget. Okay, and I also expecting the screen size should be some 7 inches. Okay, so this is my expectation. Okay, then what I will do? So then what I will do is I will approach certain shops. Then I will search for multiple mobile phones, right? For the 10,000, if you go to market, we'll get multiple mobile options, right? So whichever comes under my budget, okay, I should have also, I should have the features what I expected. So I will go and search multiple mobile phones, and I have found one phone. Okay, let's say example, I have found a one phone which I expect, it has some expected features what I'm expecting. Okay, so once I purchase the mobile phone and start using it, okay, start using it, say some of the features is not working as I expected. Like suppose, okay, I took a pictures, okay, and I'm thinking that it's a 50 megapixel camera, but when I'm clicking the pics, I'm getting like a 10 megapixel pictures. So what happened here? I already spent a lot of budget, and I expected some features should be work as per me. But here some features are not working as per me. So here what do you understand? Because here the testing is not happen properly, right? So here the testing is not happen properly and release it directly to the market. So what happened? The market will goes down for that particular brand. Okay, because the company is not releasing as per the customers expected mobile phones. So what happened? So much of frustration to the customers, and also there's so much of budget has lost. Okay, so much of time, everything will be lost, right? So they will lose complete market, they will complete lose business. So that it should not cause this, right? So something also happened to the customer. So when I develop the software, the customer will use it in a future. So if it is a buggy, means the customer will back, frustrate, and cancel the next projects or whatever the things. They will go legal and all these things. So testing is required for every product. If the in that case, so in that example, if the testing is happening properly, then I will get my expected result, expected, right? Then I will feel happy. All right. So this should be happen during the testing phase one. So testing is required for every product or project to be released to the customer or market. Okay, so if it is the case in banking application, like I have given a small example like mobile phone, let's assume it's a banking application. How much will affect, how much will lose? Okay, because banking application, most of the people will use. So if it is not working, if I transfer 1,000 rupees, but if the amount is deducted like 10,000, means how much it lost. So these things should be tested. Okay, so in order to become a buggy free the product or project, where the testing is the main level where we can decide whether the software or project is a buggy free or it's a bug product. There we can decide in the testing basis. Okay, so in order to give the project as a buggy free, we need to identify as many as bugs, as many as errors, whatever. So in order to do this, we need to find as many as bugs as possible and report to the developer, like developer who will develop that application, and make it fix, and then retest and finally release the quality product to the customer. So testing is an activity to detect and identify the defects in the software, and the main objective of the testing is to deliver the quality product to the customer. So what is testing? So testing is an activity to detect and identify the defects in the software, and the main objective of the testing is to deliver the quality of the product to the customer. Okay, clear? Okay,
Clear.
so far what we have discussed today. So far we have discussed what is software, project versus product. Okay, and why testing is required. These three things so far we have discussed. So clear or any confusion or not at all understood, please let me know here itself. So once we move to the next, we cannot come back to here also, right? Clear? If you clear, we can start. We can move to the next. Clear? Okay. Silence is the accepted one. I can accept. I can think like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So next. So here I will give you a very high level understanding of what kind of testing we will do and why testers not required any programming skills. Okay. Let me give you a high level picture. So there are different type of testing we need to do as part of SDLC. So there are different types of testing we need to do as part of SDLC software testing lifecycle. Okay. For example, in real-time environment, right? So there are two guys involved in the development process. One is developer. Okay, we can then call. Okay. So in real-time environment, there are two guys mainly involved in the software development process. One is developer, or we can call them as a programmers also. Okay. The next is the other one called as the testers. We can call them as a QA people. Okay. These are the two teams majorly involved during the software development process. Okay. And don't think the rest of the people won't involve. Okay. Also involved. But these are the two roles who can put more effort to develop a software. Okay. So what are the main role of a developer is they will develop the software, means they will write the different programmings. Okay, they will write the different programs for the customer requirements based on the customer requirements, whether any programming language, whether it is Java, Python, C#, whatever the language, ML, whatever. Okay, and they don't do any testing. Okay, the developers just write the different programs for the customer requirements and they don't do any testing, means they will do only certain level of testing. Okay, they will do only certain level of testing, but we have to test a lot. But here we means QA people are testers. Okay, developers don't do any certain, okay, they don't do any testing, but they will do certain level of testing. Okay, but we have to test a lot. So QA or testing team is different team. They are completely responsible for testing the entire software. Okay, they are the people who has the completely responsible for testing the entire software. So developer or programmer will develop the software and testers will test the entire software. Okay, but here if you understand what is developer task is, what is the developer task is, they will write a small program. Okay, they will write a small programs, like this is program 1 and this is program 2. Let's say all these are programs. Okay, let's assume those are all programs. Okay, so they will write a small programs and they will also do a certain level of testing, like whether the program is working or not. Okay, like they will give some input and they are expecting some output to be there. So this is also kind of testing. Okay, and what the level of testing, doing testing is called as unit testing. Okay. Okay, so developers will do as unit testing. So what is unit test? So let's say example, this is program 1, P1. Okay, this is program 2, P2. Okay, let's say this is P3. This is P4. Okay, different, like let's say example also 4 different developers has involved this. First developer has written program P1 and second developer has written P2, third developer P3 and fourth is P4. So what they will do initially, they have written some program here. Okay, right? And they will test that the program is working or not. Like let's say example, they have written a logic for 1 + 2 = 3. Okay, they have written as something logic like 1 plus 2 equals to 3. So when they have run this program, so when they give input as 1 and 2, okay, they should get 3. Okay, so they will do testing in that level only, means in that level means in that program wise only. Okay, whatever the program they had written, okay, by the each and every developer, they will test their own program, and that is called as unit testing. So unit testing is done basically done by the developers only for their respective code is working or not. Okay, means they test their own programs, what internal logic of the programs, like they will create some conditional statement and looping statements and everything. So they need to make sure all the lines of the code is properly executing or not when providing different kinds of input to this program. Like 1 plus 2, if I provide 1 plus 2, I will should get a 3. So are we getting the correct output or not? So they will test internal program, that is called as unit testing. So unit testing, are you clear? What is unit testing? Unit testing is done by, who will done by the unit testing? Only developers do the unit testing, and that too also as per their program, what they have written for the program, and that is program is working as per their expectation or not. Okay, and this is done basically done by the developers at the developer point of view, because they know the program, how they had written the program, and similarly have multiple programs, they have communicate with each other. Okay, suppose, okay, here we are assuming 4 programmers and 4 developers. Okay, let's say example, this guy has written some logic, and this guy has written something, and this guy has written something, this guy has written something. But let's say example, now it's the time to integrate all these programs into a one. Okay, let's say as example, he has developed a login page. Okay, he has developed a login page. Let's say example, banking application. Okay, think in that way. Okay, this person has developed a login page, and this person has developed a home page, and this person has developed a account statements, and this person has developed a address profile change. Let's say so. Now in order to do this all these things, first I need to log in. Okay, if I log in, okay, if I give an input username password, my expected output is home page. So here for the P2 the input is what? Username and password. So once I click on this username and password, I will get the home page. So in home page, if I click on the view balance, the view balance has been written by this person. So I need to enter into the home page, then only I can see the view balance. Okay, then only after seeing the view balance only I can see the statement. Clear? So there is an interlink between each and everything. So it is a process, like for P2, P1 is the input, and P3, P2 is the input, and P4, P3 is the input. But finally we have to get some output, right? So these kind of programs will integrate each other. So like so here we are testing individually, but ultimately we have to test combining all these programs into a single program. Okay, single program. Let's say it's an example as M. Okay, no fan for me. Okay, so here, so suppose whatever output is given by the first person becomes input to the another person. Whatever the output is given by the second person, it is the input to the third person. It's a vice versa. So they need to test the common between. Okay, they have to test the communication between these programs or modules. It's called as integration testing. So integration testing is combining of all the programs or combining of all the modules into a single module. Okay, then we can call it as a integration testing. Okay, once we combine all this into a single program and then we test this, that is called as integration testing. So these two testings, okay, let I did not have. Okay, so these two things, these two testings, if we want to conduct, we need to know the programming skills or internal logic of the program. So that is the reason these two testings will done by the developer itself in their own environment. Okay, so in order to do these two things, we need to have some programming skills, or we should know the internal logic what they have written of the program. So that is the reason these two testings will be done by the only developers. Okay, these two will be done by the developers. Okay, so these two testings will be done by the developers only, but they don't here. The developers won't do any complete end-to-end testing. They will check whether these all combining all these programs into a single module. They will test that only, but they don't do the complete testing. So once they have written the particular code, they will perform unit and integration testing. Once they're done with these two testing, finally what they will do is they will integrate these programs as a build, okay, or a package or an executable format. Okay, so why it is executable formats means we do like okay, let me tell about. So once they have the developers have done the unit testing and integration testing, what they will do, they will give this program into a build. Okay, build we can call build or executable format. Let's say example, okay, whenever you are using any desktop, okay, if you want to use Chrome browser, what you will do, you will download that Chrome extension, right, .exe executable file, right? So what is that? That is the combination of all the programs. Okay, they have combined into all the programs into a executable file. Okay, and they are combined into a executable file. From that file, if we double click on that, we'll install our Chrome browser into our systems, right? So that executable format, once the developer has done their unit and integration testing, they will convert this code into a some build or executable format. Okay, by using that executable format, we means here the testers. Okay, what we'll do, we just install the build in our QA environment, just like installing a software. Then we'll do a testing of the software. So what kind of testing we will do here? Because already unit testing is done and integration testing is also done by the developer, but here we'll also do a testing, right? But this testing is completely done by the testing team or QA team only. So this is called as system testing. Okay, this is done by the testing team. So this is called as system testing. System means here, system means complete software. Okay, here system means complete software, the complete end-to-end we have to perform. But here what is the input is here, what is the input? The developer is written the code because they're a developer written the code because they know internal. Developers know the internal logic what they have written because they know, because they are the people who created the software, right? They are able to test in the form of unit and integration testing because they know the logic and the program. But when come to the system testing, okay, how the testers know that function of the application, right? We don't know the code or we don't know the logic. Okay, so before getting build from the developers, the tester has to do certain jobs. Okay, so until and unless the QA team get the executable format or executable file to us, we need to do certain jobs. So what are the things? We have to understand the requirements from the customers, and we will have to prepare the test cases, and then test cases, test plans, and all. So before the build getting ready from the developers, QA has to ready with all these action plans. So action plans here means we need to understand the requirements, we need to understand the test cases, we need to write the test cases. Okay, we need to get ready with the test plan. So here, so we are doing certain jobs before we are getting the complete build to the testing team. So here test cases means, okay, so here till now clear or not? I am going fast. Soumya, clear?
Sir, your voice is breaking.
My voice is breaking. So
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, sometimes it's coming with, I mean to say, some echoes.
Oh.
Now it's okay. But last time when you started explaining about unit plus integration testing, it started breaking.
Oh,
Plus with echo.
oh, you can also. So others very sure he is in dark or what?
Like
Sir,
you started.
sound wise, sir. Sir,